Sometimes sports requires talent, technical ability, but when it comes to the very top, it requires something more important. It requires leadership, both on and off the field. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so lucky to have him with us today, Mr. Francois Pienaar.
Thank you very much, Nicky. Wow. Thank you for doing my speech for me. Like you, Nicky, I'm incredibly blessed to meet cool people. I was doing a workshop at Manchester United a couple of weeks ago, and there were some really cool CEOs from all over the world. And the one that grabbed my attention the most was Fred Allen, the CEO of DHL. Now, DHL is now the biggest international company in the world. And if you look at the story, they were bust. You know, they were losing they were $8 billion in debt. Fred took over, he changed the culture. They've now got $1 billion in cash, and they make profits of about 1.6 a year. And he says there's 4 things in life that bring people together. He says music, sport, love, and logistics. Of course, he has to say logistics. So if I think of Christel House, what I've seen here this morning is the 4 things that makes this work in my mind is your music. Beautiful to watch them perform for us here, and I can only imagine how hard they would have practiced. Sport, on the Saturday when the community gets together. I've been there. I'm blessed to have my older son, Jean, here with me. I ran up and down when they were playing at Redham, remember? Up and down, and boy, did I learn that mothers know more about rugby than fathers ever would. And the shouting and the passion, and after the game, the celebrations, and also the commiserations brings people together. Love. When I asked what makes this place tick, I was said it was love. Love makes this place tick. Sometimes too much love, I heard. And then I want to replace logistics with quality education. Because what you've achieved is amazing. If you look at the stats, and you should say that with pride, it's not bragging, it's a fact, where the rest of South African schools in the impoverished areas are failing dismally. They can't keep the kids in the school. None of them really finish school, and they can't go to higher education. What you guys have done here is truly spectacular. So thank you for asking me to be here this morning. And can we give Christel House and the people that have built it, but a proper round of applause. Yeah. Sport is incredibly powerful. It is incredibly powerful. In my South African story, sport has taught me many things, but the 2 things it's taught me is about humility and selflessness. And I was very, very blessed to share a platform with one of the greatest leaders the world has ever seen. My job as a captain was to get them to execute for 80 minutes every Saturday. That's my job. If we execute, we win more than we lose. And so on the bus, when I was sitting with the team throughout that week, everybody was talking about, you know, what if I miss a tackle? What if I drop a ball? What if, you know, so it's quite negative. My whole chat to them was, what if we don't take our chances? What if we don't give it our all? What if we don't take risks? So don't, after the game, ever say, if I did this, if I did that. But then you come to Christel House, and you're going, wow, what if the cure for cancer is trapped in the brilliant mind of somebody in Manenberg or Langa, and they don't get an opportunity. They don't get the opportunity to use that brilliant mind to change the world in medicine, in education, in leadership, in values. What if the next president, Nelson Mandela of South Africa, is sitting in one of those 20 townships, and he or she does not get the opportunity? And that's why what we're doing here is so important. And that's why I want to thank you again before I take questions. And I want to thank the people that are sitting here, because you actually make the difference. You guys are here because you're doing it. Go out there and make the circle bigger. Make the circle bigger, because if we can develop an army of young leaders, educators, business people that become mentors, we'll develop a powerful force for change that this country needs. It's going to take time, but it starts here. Thank you for listening to me, ladies and gentlemen.